putting together a partnership with a prime or a group of other people to put a business deal together for the airport. What the speed dating is for today is to allow primes and joint venture partners to meet each other and to exchange business information. What the date cards are for is for those of you that are joint venture partners to sign up to talk to primes to find out a little bit more about their business. And so, as an example, if a prime on the sign-up sheet has an opening under slot number 5, then you would put slot number 5 on your date card to talk to them at that point during speed dating. So when speed dating starts, and it's scheduled to start about 3:50 or so, based on what dates you have, we'll start the first date at 3:50. It'll last about 5 to 7 minutes, and then we'll go on to the second date. And I have a very annoying chime that we will be using to designate when to change dates. Does anybody have any questions? Now, a lot of contractors are asking if they can sign up for the speed dating also. What I'm saying
this is our second Fourth Tuesday session. And today we've got a fully packed agenda and some great speakers, and hopefully a lot of time for you guys to get to know one another and to ask a lot of questions. If we've got the answers, we'll let you know. If we don't, we'll be posting them as we go through this, this journey as we get to August when we have the RFP. But without further ado, I would like to introduce our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Jeffrey Fagan, who is here to welcome you. And Jeff?
Well, thank you, Zanola, and good afternoon, everybody. I have to apologize for us starting a little bit late. You know, in my position, I have to attend a lot of lunches, and I was at a luncheon earlier today, and there was this long-winded speaker there, and unfortunately, it was me. So. And then I thought, well, you know, I can still make it, you know how it is, and I got into my car, started driving down to the garage, got to the exit, and there's like 20 cars waiting to get out of this garage, and I just got trapped. So I'm a little bit late, but I'm here, and I'll try not to be too long-winded. But anyhow, I just want to express my appreciation for your interest in DFW Airport. We're about to embark on a pretty significant redevelopment program of our terminal buildings. You know, in 2005, when we opened Terminal D, I think the question that I got the most is, okay, you got D done, what about the rest of the terminals? And you know, D is such a beautiful facility with great finishes and great space and a great feel to it. Many people were asking, you know, when are you going to do the same thing to Terminal A, B, C, and E? And that will actually start a week after the Super Bowl. Dallas-Fort Worth area, North Texas, is hosting a Super Bowl. We don't want to interrupt that operation or that big event, so we'll start sometime shortly after the Super Bowl, but we will go systematically through all of our existing terminals, kind of section by section. You'll hear a little bit more about it. Doing a ground-up restoration that will make a lot of improvements, not only into the systems that are now 36 years old, but also to the finishes, as well as how we organize space within the terminal buildings. And obviously will have a very, very significant impact on the concession program. We are still in the final stages of figuring out how much this will all cost, but right now it appears to be somewhere in the order of about $1.5 to $2 billion to go through this renovation program. So we have a very, very significant investment that will take place, and of course that creates an opportunity to renew and refresh our concession program along with all the renovations within the terminal. Obviously, to pay for a $1.5 to $2 billion development program, our objective obviously is to drive as much revenue as we can, and whether it be through concessions or parking or commercial development or rental car business, we will have a new level of obligations that will have to be satisfied through revenue generation. Well, when we get into the terminal redevelopment program, you are going to see some very significant changes, and you're going to see some big changes in terms of our infrastructure and our systems, such as HVAC, but you also will see changes to our ticketing operation. You'll see changes to our security checkpoint. You will see changes to our concession program in terms of the arrangement of spaces, and it really will allow us to modernize our terminal and have that look and feel of Terminal D. We're also looking at trying to achieve somewhere between 20–30% reduction in our energy footprint with these new renovations. So again, that's a big driver of this whole project and something that we want to achieve. We're also looking to consolidate some of our checkpoint facilities. There'll probably be fewer but bigger checkpoint facilities. There'll be even some improvements to the escalator situation we have today. They will be replaced with high capacity elevators that will provide flow from the terminal level to the lower level of the terminal building. And everything, as I said, starts about a week after the Super Bowl, which is sometime in February of 2011. In fact, I think it's 254 days from now, or from tomorrow. That's when our next meeting of the Super Bowl committee is. But 254 days, and then a week or so after that is when all this will start, all the work will start. We're projected to finish the work in 2017. So, and again, I think from DFW's perspective, we want to make sure that we have facilities in place that can meet the long-term needs of North Texas, and with the refurbishment of the 4 other terminals in combination with our beautiful Terminal D, I think DFW will be well positioned for the future. I want to again thank you all for coming out here today, and wish you all the best of luck. You have a number of speakers that will follow and provide even more detailed information, and please enjoy your day. I guess I turn it over to Ken Buchanan, our Executive Vice President of Revenue Management. But thank you all very much for coming out. Appreciate it.
Wow, good afternoon. Thank you, Jeff. I know where I stand in the pecking order. The team give me talking notes, and they tell Jeff to say whatever he wants to say. So, you know, this is interesting. I've never had the opportunity to, or the responsibility to figure out how to pay back a $2 billion loan. You know, I'm sure a lot of our concessionaires are here today that can relate to that. The way we're going to pay it back is through the revenue generation that we have. So one of the things that we're really looking to create is a world-class business environment for our concessionaires to operate in. First and foremost, we know that that is one of the key pillars to long-term success. As an airport, we've got to provide you the facilities, the infrastructure, the environment that's conducive to you doing your business the way you do it. But there are some expectations along the way. We also want to not only create that business environment, but fill it full of people. DFW, as you know, is the 3rd busiest airport in the world in terms of operation, and I believe we're the 6th in the world in terms of passengers. DFW has over 60 million passengers flowing through its terminals on a yearly basis. I think the last couple of years we kind of dipped down into the high 50s. But by the time this terminal development project comes to an end, 7 years later, our expectation is that our revenues will be pointed north and will be well over the 60 million passengers. So that's the number that we like to throw out. Also, I'd like to talk a little bit about the opportunity at DFW for those who have not operated in an airport environment. Maybe you've operated in a mall environment. The airport environment is extremely different to operate in. The cost could be relatively high, but when you think about the passengers and the dynamic and demographics of those passengers, there's no better place. When you look at the 60 million passengers that flow through DFW, over 50% of them have an average income of over $100,000. 60% of them are business travelers. 65% of them travel with mobile electronic devices. I mean, the statistics are staggering. And I think that's the core customer. Also, we're right in the middle of that sweet spot. Most of our passengers, 65% of them, are between the ages of 25 and 54 years old. So you can't beat the demographics that the airport environment provides. So we'll provide those demographics. We'll put the infrastructure there. We'll create the business environment, hopefully that will facilitate success for our concessionaires. But there's some things that we want in return. We want the best concepts. We want the best concepts that resonate the greatest with our passengers. We want those concepts that wows the passengers. We want a financial return.